Grigory Rasputin. The name itself evokes mystery, a whisper of power, a shroud of darkness. Born in a remote Siberian village, Rasputin's early life was marked by hardship and obscurity. Yet from these humble beginnings, he would rise to become one of the most enigmatic figures in Russian history. Born in Siberia in 1869, Rasputin journeyed from peasant obscurity to the glittering heart of the Russian court. His early years were spent in the small village of Pokrovskoye, where he was known for his wild behavior and mystical inclinations. It was said that he possessed healing powers and a deep spiritual insight, traits that would later define his controversial legacy. He became a trusted advisor to Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra. His influence over the royal family grew, particularly with the Tsarina, who believed Rasputin could heal her son, Alexei, of his hemophilia. This belief cemented his position within the royal court, allowing him unprecedented access and power. His influence, however, was as potent as it was controversial. Many in the Russian aristocracy viewed Rasputin with suspicion and disdain. They saw him as a manipulative charlatan who exploited the royal family's trust for his own gain. Rumors and scandals swirled around him, painting a picture of a man who was both revered and reviled. Was he a holy man, a mystic healer? To his followers, Rasputin was a man of God, a spiritual guide who could perform miracles. They believed in his ability to heal the sick and provide divine counsel. His charisma and apparent supernatural abilities drew many to his side, creating a devoted following that saw him as a beacon of hope in troubled times. Or was he a charlatan, a manipulator who held the Romanovs in his thrall? To his detractors, Rasputin was a dangerous fraud, a man who used his influence over the royal family to further his own ambitions. They accused him of manipulating the Tsar and Tsarina, leading them astray with his false prophecies and dubious advice. Public skepticism grew, and many saw him as a symbol of the corruption and decay within the Russian monarchy. The truth, like Rasputin himself, remains an enigma. His life and legacy are shrouded in mystery, with conflicting accounts and interpretations. Some see him as a misunderstood mystic, a man of deep faith who was unfairly maligned. Others view him as a cunning opportunist who played a dangerous game of power and influence. The reality is likely a complex blend of both, a reflection of the turbulent times in which he lived, a riddle shrouded in history and speculation. Rasputin's story continues to captivate and confound, a testament to the enduring power of his enigmatic presence. As historians and scholars delve into the past, the true nature of Rasputin remains elusive, a puzzle that may never be fully solved. His life serves as a reminder of the complexities of history and the enduring allure of the unknown. Rasputin's early life was unremarkable. Born in a small village in Siberia in 1869, he grew up in a world far removed from the grandeur of the Russian court. His family were simple peasants, living off the land and enduring the harsh Siberian winters. Life was tough, and young Rasputin was no stranger to hardship. He was a peasant, a farmer, a man of the Siberian soil. His days were filled with the toil of farming, tending to the fields, and caring for livestock. The rhythms of rural life shaped his early years, grounding him in the traditions and superstitions of the Siberian countryside. Yet he claimed a spiritual awakening. In his late 20s, Rasputin experienced a profound religious transformation. He began to see visions and believed he had been touched by the divine. This newfound spirituality set him apart from his fellow villagers and marked the beginning of his journey into the mystical. He embarked on a pilgrimage seeking religious enlightenment. Leaving behind his family and the familiar life of the village, Rasputin traveled across Russia, visiting monasteries and holy sites. His pilgrimage was a quest for deeper understanding and connection with the divine, and it brought him into contact with various religious figures and communities. He arrived in St. Petersburg in 1903, a time of great social unrest. The city was a hub of political and social turmoil, with growing discontent among the working class and increasing pressure on the ruling elite. Rasputin's arrival in the capital marked a significant turning point in his life. The Romanov dynasty teetered on the brink. The ruling family faced numerous challenges, both from within and outside the empire. Political instability, economic hardship, and the looming threat of revolution created an atmosphere of uncertainty and fear. Their only son, Alexei, suffered from hemophilia, a debilitating blood disorder. This condition, which caused severe bleeding and pain, was a closely guarded secret within the royal family. The young heir's illness added to the already immense pressure on the Romanovs. Rasputin, with his piercing gaze and claims of healing, offered hope. His reputation as a mystic and healer had preceded him, and his arrival in St. Petersburg quickly caught the attention of those close to the royal family. Rasputin's presence was seen as a potential solution to the seemingly insurmountable problems facing the Romanovs. He seemed able to ease Alexei's suffering. Through a combination of prayer, rituals, and his enigmatic presence, Rasputin managed to alleviate some of the young boy's symptoms. This apparent miracle endeared him to the royal family, particularly to Tsarina Alexandra, who saw Rasputin as a divine instrument sent to save her son. Tsarina Alexandra, desperate and devout, embraced him as a savior. Her deep religious faith and her desperation to save her son made her susceptible to Rasputin's influence. She believed that Rasputin's presence was essential for Alexei's well-being and that he was a man of God sent to protect her family. He became a constant presence in the royal household. Rasputin's influence extended beyond his role as a healer. He became a trusted advisor and confidant to the Tsarina, offering counsel on a wide range of issues. His proximity to the royal family gave him unprecedented access to the inner workings of the Russian court. His influence over the Tsarina, and by extension the Tsar, grew stronger. Rasputin's opinions and advice began to shape the decisions of the royal couple, affecting both their personal lives and their political choices. His presence in the court became a source of controversy and intrigue, as many within the aristocracy and the broader public viewed him with suspicion and distrust. Accounts of Rasputin's healing abilities are numerous. Some claimed he possessed genuine powers. They spoke of miraculous recoveries, of ailments vanished with a touch or a prayer. Others dismissed these claims as mere trickery. They argued he was a skilled hypnotist, a master manipulator who preyed on the vulnerable. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. Rasputin's charisma was undeniable. His understanding of the power of suggestion, undeniable. Whether through genuine healing or clever manipulation, he instilled belief. And belief, as we know, can be a powerful force. As Rasputin's influence grew, so too did the whispers. The enigmatic figure who had risen from humble beginnings to become a close confidant of the Russian royal family was now the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation. His presence at the royal court was both revered and reviled, and the stories about him began to take on a life of their own. Rumors of his debauchery spread like wildfire. The newspapers of the time were filled with sensational headlines, each more scandalous than the last. These stories painted a picture of a man who was not only deeply flawed but also dangerously influential. The public, already wary of the monarchy, found in Rasputin a convenient scapegoat for their frustrations. He was accused of drunkenness, sexual impropriety, and a host of other vices. Tales of his wild parties and excessive drinking were common, and many believed that he had a corrupting influence on those around him. His behavior was seen as a direct affront to the moral standards of the time, and his critics were quick to condemn him, even orgies within the walls of the royal palaces. These allegations were particularly damaging as they suggested that Rasputin's influence extended to the highest levels of society. The idea that such debauchery could take place within the sanctified halls of the royal residence was shocking to many, and it only served to heighten the sense of outrage. His enemies, and they were many, used these rumors to discredit him. Political cartoons and propaganda pieces depicted him as a malevolent force, a puppet master pulling the strings of the monarchy. These images were powerful and persuasive, and they played a significant role in shaping public opinion against him. They painted him as a threat to the monarchy, a man whose unchecked power could bring about the downfall of the Russian Empire. The Tsar and Tsarina, already under immense pressure, found themselves increasingly isolated as their association with Rasputin became a focal point of criticism, a corrupting influence on the Tsar and Tsarina. The royal couple's reliance on Rasputin, particularly in matters of health and spiritual guidance, was seen as a sign of weakness. Many believed that Rasputin's hold over them was a symptom of a deeper malaise within the monarchy, one that could not be easily remedied. Whether these accusations were true or fabricated is debatable. Some historians argue that Rasputin was the victim of a smear campaign orchestrated by those who sought to undermine the monarchy. Others believe that there was some truth to the rumors and that Rasputin's behavior was indeed problematic. Rasputin was undoubtedly a complex figure. He embraced contradictions. On one hand, he was a man of deep religious conviction, a mystic who claimed to have healing powers. On the other hand, he was known for his hedonistic lifestyle, indulging in pleasures that seemed at odds with his spiritual beliefs. He preached piety, yet indulged in earthly pleasures. This duality made him a fascinating and enigmatic figure, one who defied easy categorization. His followers saw him as a holy man, a beacon of hope in troubled times. His detractors, however, viewed him as a charlatan, a man who used his supposed spiritual gifts for personal gain. His behavior, regardless of its veracity, further fueled the flames of discontent. The Russian people, already suffering under the weight of war and economic hardship, found in Rasputin a symbol of everything that was wrong with their country. Protests and demonstrations became more frequent, and the calls for his removal grew louder. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation. As tensions reached a boiling point, it became clear that something had to give. Rasputin's fate was sealed, and his eventual assassination would mark the beginning of the end for the Romanov dynasty. The story of Rasputin is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the fragility of even the most seemingly stable institutions.